Shalom Yasha'Allah. This brother Mapathat. That'd be key, but in the ancient Paleo Hebrew. And it's going to be a video dealing with the Revelation 13 and 15 on down, right? Dealing with the mark of the beast, right? Dealing with the which is through the spirit. We understand it's the CHIP, right? The RFID CHIP. You understand? And we're gonna go through a couple videos, and we're gonna go through the precepts to show this thing. You understand? And this is gonna be actually my fourth time doing this video. The first time the video got cut. The second time I uploaded the video and YouTube deletes the audio every time. The third time the video got cut again. So Satan is really trying to stop this video from getting out, but I'm gonna keep trying, until I can't try anymore, man. Right? And Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Right? And let's start this video.
But only if they did not leave out a lot of important points. The thing is that today, current events allow us to take prophecies like the mark of the beast literally. And so that is what I'm doing. I believe that all of these things need to be understood. There is no coincidence when there is technology that allows someone the ability to buy or sell with it, while it is actually being planted and inserted in someone's body and gives the system complete access to their life, from financials to health records to location tracking, and I'm sure much more.
So yeah, that's a lot of control, right? And especially chiefly having control over and knowing where people money is going and how they're getting their money and how much money they have. That's complete control, right? And that's what they want. They want complete control, right? And they also going to be able to track your location wherever you are, right? So you have to understand that's the ultimate goal of Esau and their this one world government that they want to usher in, is to have ultimate control over the people, right?
With the fact that this kind of technology exists and they are promoting it to us, we should be strongly looking at this as the mark of the beast. There is an active campaign promoting an implantable RFID microchip that has many different functions, but one of them is allowing digital commerce transactions to exist. They are implanting the chip in people's hands. And now they are even showing the technology for the same thing to be implanted in our foreheads as well.
Well, Elon Musk's next...
Right, and he said they are, and really they already have it in Sweden on a high level, people getting CHIP'd in their hands already. You understand? And now you have this man, Elon Musk, who's creating this Neuralink CHIP to put into the people's brains. And that's all prophecy, right? Let's go to the scriptures real fast, and we're going to go back to the video. So this is Revelation 13 and verse 16, right? And it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand and in their foreheads. You understand? Right? So you're going to have to accept the CHIP in your right hand and in your forehead, right? And it says, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So you're going to have to accept this CHIP to buy or sell and to live in this society, man. Right? Because if you can't buy or sell, you can't live. Right? And ultimately, it's going to come down to the point where Esau is going to want to put you to death if you don't accept this thing. Right? If you don't accept their new world order. Right? If you don't get down with this new world order, Esau is going to put you to death. Right? And you can read about that in Revelation 20, how some of the elect are going to be put to death because they're not going to accept this thing. Right? And this is Revelation 20 and verse 4, and it reads, and I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of the Most High, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Yahushua 1,000 years. So you're going to have some of the elect men that are going to be put to death because they won't accept this mark from the beast. Right? But I'm going to continue playing on this video.
This project isn't a car or a spaceship or a solar panel. The executive's latest startup is called Neuralink, which focuses on the goal of implanting chips into human brains and also connecting brains to computers. Here's what Elon Musk said at a conference in California about the technology last night.
this, I think, has a very good purpose, which is to cure important diseases, and ultimately to help secure humanity's future as a civilization.
You see that, and he believes by connecting and bringing together humans with technology is going to be able to help humans live longer. And he said it's ultimately going to be for a better future, right? It's going to be able to help cure diseases and things of that matter, right? And this is what you call transhumanism, right? And I already got it pulled up because, like I said, I already did a video on it, right? But I'm gonna read it again. It says, transhumanism. Transhumanism is a philosophical and intellectual movement which advocates for the enhancement of the human condition. So they believe by mixing technology with humans, it's going to enhance human life. And it says, by developing and making widely available sophisticated technologies that can greatly enhance longevity and cognition. So it believes it's going to help you live longer, right? And it's also going to help with your cognitive abilities, right? And there's no telling how far Esau can go with these technologies, right? They might advertise it as, hey, the deaf man is going to be able to hear again if he accepts this, right? The blind man is going to be able to see again if he accepts this. And it's ultimately Esau using technology to play as the Most High, right? They want to be God, right? And it says, it also predicts the inevitability of such technologies in the future, right? And it's another one I was reading. I believe this is it. What is an example of transhumanism? Some examples of transhumanism include anti-aging, right? So they believe they're going to make it so that you'll stop aging and you'll live longer, right? They're going to be able to expand your lifespan. And it says an artificial intelligence, right? And what is artificial intelligence? It's AI, right? And pretty much going into how they have these talking robots that can answer your questions, right? Even as small as when you deal with things like Siri and things like Alexa. You understand? That would be an example of artificial intelligence, right? So now you might be able to have that. Just to give an example of how they can mix artificial intelligence with a human, you might have that CHIP in your brain, and now you're thinking about what is the weather going to be? Instead of having to say, Alexa, what is the weather going to be? It's going to be in your brain because that CHIP in your brain is going to be connected with a computer. So now you're just asking yourself in your brain, what is the weather going to be? And now you're getting answers. And when you really think about this thing on a deeper level, hey, it's going to do a lot more harm than good at the end of the day, right? And you can see you can see that in these movies that Esau like to put out there. All these different movies about transhumanism and mixing robot with human, it always leads to destruction, right? It always leads to destruction because technology is going to malfunction. You understand? And it says, transhumanism often represented in films as a negative aspect of humanity, right? That's a spirit, because that's what I was just talking about, right? When you watch these different movies, it becomes, you see how it always leads to a negative aspect. It says, shown as mad scientists, right? And those mad scientists are these Edomites, right? Elon Musk is an example of these mad scientists that you see in these movies, right? That usher these things out and it ultimately destroys humanity, right? And it says where there is a negative plot twist causing damage. Example, Incredible Hulk. You see that? So let's go back to the video.
Relative to AI, this I think has tremendous potential, and we hope to have this aspirationally in a human patient before the end of next year.
Neuralink is the first chip implanted into the human brain that directly links the human brain with a hard drive of a physical computer without a wire, without a cable. So it's like Bluetooth technology. It's beyond Bluetooth, but you can think of it that way. So what he's saying is, if you can't beat the machines, join them. He said, let's interface, let's become one with these machines. So
700 feet.
And that's all I pretty much wanted from this video. And I want to show that this is already out there, right? So they're already conditioning the people to see this as the norm. And that's why they put it in these different movies, right? And they have it, and they do these different trial runs, right? Because you have people already with this CHIP, right? Even if it's just for small thing, like as a key to open their door, right? As a train pass, right? And I'm gonna play the video actually, because they pretty much go into it. If I can find the same video, yeah, this is the video I want.
safety is our money. The onset of the coronavirus pandemic is forcing institutions around the world to rethink about one particularly germy surface: cold, hard cash.
You see what she just said is a major key point too, as it shows how really in depth and planned out this pandemic, right? Which is what we know as this 19, right? I'm just gonna say 19, right? A big part of that agenda was for them to say, okay, we have this virus going around, and cash is super dirty, and cash goes from one person to another, right? You give cash to one person, he gives it to the next person, he gives it to the next person. Now it gets shipped overseas, and it goes to the next person, and it goes to the next person, and now they can use that as an excuse to say, okay, this cash is a big part of why this thing is spreading around. We have to get rid of cash, right? We need to have a cashless society, right, for the safety of the people, and that's what they're going to be able to say. But really, it's all an agenda just to gain full control, right? Because like I was saying earlier, if you have control of where the cash is going, you know where the cash is coming from, right, and you know how they're getting it, right? If you just have control over the currency, that's full control, right? They're going to have full control over the currency that's flowing around throughout the nation, right? Full control over every single dollar, every single penny. They're going to know where it's spent and where it's coming from. You understand?
This is going to be hard to hear, but according to multiple studies, microorganisms found living on the surface of cash and even credit cards range from mouth and vaginal bacteria to flu-like viruses. But what if you can make your daily purchases without touching a thing? Welcome to Sweden, where thousands of people are inserting tiny microchips under their skin so that they no longer have to carry cash, IDs, gym passes, and key cards to get into work.
I have 2 microchip implants, one on the right and one on the left. I got the micro implants because I wanted to be part of the future. I don't need keys, so I'm able to actually open the doors with my hands.
These tiny chips are about the size of a grain of rice, and they're implanted into the back of the hand with a syringe. And so far, about 3,000 Swedes have gotten them implemented.
So in Sweden, you can actually use it to put your train tickets inside. You can actually use it with Scandinavia's biggest gym chain, so you don't actually need to show your membership card. I use it personally as a business card, so you can actually put your phone on my hand and then my LinkedIn pops up.
You see that? So she doesn't need a physical train, a train pass. She doesn't need a physical gym membership card, and she doesn't need a physical resume, right? She just goes and uses her hand to do all of these things. You understand? She uses her hand to do all of these things, right? And this little small grain of rice in her hand, the CHIP, is holding all of this information, right? So like I said, it's already out here. Don't think it's something that's a far off, and I don't know if that's possible. They'll make this little device do all of these things. It's already here, right? It's already popular in Sweden. You understand? And it's a spirit because I was looking into it last night, and you would see that Sweden is trying to become part of that beast system. Sweden is trying to become part of NATO. You understand? Right? And we understand NATO and the European Union is ultimately that beast. And America is the big part of that beast because America is part of the NATO, right? And America has the most influence right now, right? And really, the NATO gives America her power, right? It gives the whore her power, right? So really, when you're thinking about that beast, it's dealing with all these different Edomite powers on the earth, right?
So, who's behind this technology? This is Hans Sepian-Sjöblad, and he's the CEO and co-founder of Disruptive Subdermals. They're one of the leading companies when it comes to developing microchip technologies.
I first encountered chip implants for humans almost 10 years ago.
Right, and he said he first encountered these implants of the CHIP over 10 years ago, and that's just his personal testimony. But like I said, I don't know if I touched on it in this video specifically, but in the 1990s they already had a cartoon showing how they wanted to CHIP the earth. You understand? So Esau has been thinking about doing this for years, right? And this is before the 1990s. This has always been a part of the Esau's agenda, right?
That this is a very interesting technology that we could potentially do some awesome things with. So I bought a bunch online, got together a bunch of friends, and we had our first chip implant party. The number one reason for getting an implant is simply convenience. It allows you to eliminate some of the clutter in your life. Implants can also be used for making payments. For example, here at Epicenter in Stockholm, we use our implants in different vending machines, buying snacks and candy and juices whenever we feel like it.
See, and that's prophecy. It goes back to Revelation 13, right? If you don't accept this thing, you won't be able to buy or sell, right? It's plain.
Futuristic for you, but Sweden is expected to be the world's first cashless economy by March of 2023.
Right, and they said Sweden is expected to be the world's first cashless economy by next year, March 2023. You understand? And this is the goal, to have a cashless society, to have full control over society, right?
But now, microchips could be used for more than just convenience. They have the potential to change healthcare and the way governments are handling the coronavirus crisis.
I am convinced that smart implants will provide a marvelous value to people who suffer from different health conditions and need to be able to log their vital parameters on a regular basis. It could be body temperature, pulse, blood pressure, and imagine if you could just do that by swiping yourself with a smartphone at any time. For example, the implants that we designed allow people to measure their body temperature. It has some very interesting applications.
Right, and like I was touching on a little earlier, that's a key point. That's a key part of the agenda as well, was for them to come out with this 19 virus. You understand? Right? And now they can usher this thing out and say it's going to help you with your health. It's going to help us. Get rid of this damn 19. Right? They're going to say all these peaceful things. Right? And they're going to use celebrities. They're going to use those who have the most influence in the world. They're going to have Beyonce on commercials advertising this thing, Jay-Z, Little Baby, Da Baby. They're going to have all these big influencers, right? Tom Brady, right? Damn, your favorite basketball player, right? The same way they did with the juice, right? That juice that they put into the needle and put it into your arm. The same way they did with that, they used different influencers to persuade you to get it. They pay people to do these advertisements to persuade you to get it. They're going to do the same thing with the CHIP, but it's going to be on a much major scale. You understand? It's going to be on a much major scale. They're going to have the biggest influencers ushering this thing out and making it seem like something that's cool and something that's needed, right? So that they can get the average person to accept it. You understand? The average person, and through the spirit, you can see that even that juice, right, that they put into the needle and put into your arm, that jump shot was a foreshadow of what they're going to do when they usher off the CHIP. They literally had it to the point where it was like, okay, if you don't accept this, then you can't come to this grocery store. If you don't accept this, then you must lose your job, right? If you don't accept this, you can't be a trucker. If you don't accept this, you can't work in the health field. And how many people accepted it because they cared about this carnal world? They cared about the things of this world, so they were willing to accept anything that was given unto them. It's so many people that accepted it who really regret it. I remember being at camp and there was a brother going into the jump shot, and how people don't even know what's in it and things of that matter, right? How a lot of people are dying after taking it. And there was a woman that came up and she was a CNA, right? Or something along those lines. She could have been a PCA, RN, anything. I'm not sure, but I know she had on the scrubs. And she basically was crying because she regretted taking that jump shot. And she knew it was wrong. She knew it was wrong to what's the words I'm looking for? To sacrifice her morality, right? I'm not sure if that's the word I'm looking for, but basically she knew in her heart she shouldn't have took that juice, right? But yet she did it because she wanted to keep a job, and she knew that was wrong. And that's kind of like selling your souls, going contrary to your morals because you want something of this world, right? And that's pretty much what she did. And that's what a lot of people are going to do. Imagine in these last days, you understand? Imagine how much more in these last days, right? Where they tell you you're not going to be able to eat, right? You're not going to be able to drink and things of that matter, right? if you don't accept this thing. You're not going to be able to feed your kids, right? You're going to be as a pilgrim on the earth because you're not going to be able to pay your bills anymore. You're going to be kicked out, right? You're going to a FEMA camp if you don't accept it. We're going to lock you up if you don't accept it. And ultimately, we're going to put you to death if you don't accept it, man. And what is that? That's the hour of temptation. The hour of temptation, the time of great temptation, where it's either you serve Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and you listen to the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, or you serve this beast system, right? Because you're scared, right? Because you allow that spirit of fear to overcome you, right? And now you turn your back on the words of the Lord and you get down with the so-called white man, right? And that's going to be that. And that's what the Lord said in 2nd Ezra 16. And in those times, I'm going to know who my chosen are, because the Lord's elect, they're gonna be willing to die for this truth. You understand? That's Sirach 4 in verse 28. Strive for the truth unto death, right? Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee, right? And I want to bring this out in Revelation 3. I'm not sure if I touched on it already, Salakia. Like I said, I did this video like 4 times, so it's to the point that I don't even know if I touched on certain points yet in this new video or what. And Salaki, if I already touched on this point, but I'm going to bring it out again through the Spirit. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which is going to be a time of great temptation. It's not going to be a literal hour, right? But it's going to be a time of great temptation. It says, what shall come upon all the earth, all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth. And that hour of temptation is when it's going to be, hey, you either accept this so you can live, or I'm going to put you to death, man, right? It's either you accept this, that's a so-called white man is trying to give you, or you serve Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai said, hey, he's gonna keep you, right? Rather, even if you're one of the elect that have to get beheaded because you don't accept it, you're still going to be kept. Why? Because you're going to be resurrected in the last days, right? You're going to live reign 1,000 years, right? Which is really forever with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? And I want to give one more precept and I'm gonna close out. And Lord willing, they allowed me to upload this one, right? I believe I use good words, you understand? So this is Isaiah 36:6. It says, lo, thou trusteth in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, right? And we know in the spirit, Egypt represents America. And it says, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and perish it, right? So if you lean and you trust in America, what is it going to lead to? It's going to lead to you being pierced in your hand. And that's dealing with, through the spirit, it's talking about the CHIP, right? Because they have to pierce you in your hand, right? So that's ultimately what's going to happen if you don't trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, but you put your trust in America, right? You're going to lean on America, and ultimately it's going to pierce your hand, right? Because you're going to have to you're going to have to receive that. You're going to have to receive that mark in the last days if you put your trust in this system, right? It says, so is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him, right? So you're going to have to get pierced in your hand if you lean on America, right? And I want to say Kahala Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Lord willing, this is edifying, and Lord willing, this video gets uploaded, right? And Shalom Yasha Allah.